Okay, we are recorded. We are live at 7 o'clock Tuesday night. I want to welcome everybody to the live broadcast. Tonight what we're going to talk about, guys, is we're going to talk about some strategies on how to build a successful home-based business. And again, the whole purpose of this presentation is to let you know how simple this business model really is and to kind of give you an overview of exactly what we're doing so you can feel good about what we're doing. At the same token, when I get done with the presentation, if you're a guest on board tonight, I am going to, be offering you an opportunity to join us. So not only am I going to be giving you some information, I really am going to encourage you to, jump in and take a spot with us. But it doesn't really make a difference what company you look at, no matter what business model you look at when it comes time to building a home-based business. There are only three key components that make up any business. It's either you, the individual, the system that you have. There are no other components that make up the home-based business industry. And of those three key components, obviously you're the most important one, and we're going to talk about all three of those components tonight. And now, before I get into the old details, let me do the old disclaimer to make sure I get that out of the way. That this is not a guarantee of income. This is merely an example of income based on a plan. Your success will be dependent upon what you do, and there is no purchase requirement to join us and get involved. And so let's go ahead and get into those three key components. I want to spend a little time on these three on this slide right here because you'll notice it says you, the system, and the company. Of those three key components, the most important one is you. And again, whenever you have a business model that you're going to prosper with, you always prosper better if you have a targeted market you're going after. Many people fail in this industry because they don't know who the targeted market is. Our targeted market are people who have a desire for something that they can't do in what they're doing. They have a willingness to do more than they're doing to get it, and they're also teachable. And if you even want to, drill it down deeper, our targeted market is actually people between 25 and 35 years of age who are married with kids and have a household combined income of $70,000 who have a desire they want that they can't get. They have a willingness to do more than what they're doing presently to get it, and they're teachable. Now, having said that, I'm in my 50s, so I don't fit that targeted market. But this is one of the challenges that we have in this industry is that people don't know what they're basically doing is they're trying to sell people to get into this and going off and looking for people who fit the targeted market. So, and again, we're going to be covering this a little bit more in detail, but, our targeted market are people who get a desire for something that they can't get, willing to do more than what they're doing to get it, and they're teachable. Well, the second key component of the home-based business industry is the system. The system is to teach people what to do, how to do, and why to do it for you, so you don't have to, so you can be free. And the system also has to be affordable that people can participate. And again, every company that has built a profitable business model, they have systems. Most systems are too expensive for the average person to participate. So the system not only has to be able to teach people for you so you can be free, but it also has to be affordable. And the third component we're going to talk about tonight is the company, and that is the least important component of the home-based business industry. And this, again, might come as a shock to most people, but most people spend way too much time talking about the company. The only purpose is to provide high-demand, high-impact products. Have a simple comp plan that people can make money with, and also have it affordable that people can join. And so we're going to cover all three of those components tonight. The first one we're going to talk about is you. Again, the most important thing if you succeed in the home-based business industry, you must know who your targeted market is, and you must focus on finding that targeted market and not getting sidetracked, getting involved in trying to sell someone on getting involved. Rather than trying to sell people to get in something, you need to work at helping people get something. So our target market are people who got something they want, they can't get doing what they're doing, and they're willing to do more to get it, and they're teachable. Okay, so the first question I always like to ask people is, hey, do you got something you want you can't get doing what you're doing? And especially if I talk to somebody like my age, who's a baby boomer, they're not our targeted market. People want to know, well, why is it 25 to 30? Why is that your targeted market? Well, it seems like if you're 25 to 35, you've been in the workforce long enough to realize that kind of stinks a little bit, but you've not been in so long that you still got some dreams. Most people in their 50s, they've kind of given up on their dreams. They've kind of put their dreams in the closet, put them in the back shelf. Now they're looking more, and existing, they're not really maybe thinking about getting a house on the lake and maybe getting a boat and doing all this kind of stuff. They're just maybe thinking about maybe how to retire, and keep the wolves away from the door. Okay, there are a few 50-year-olds that still have dreams in their heart that they can't get, and that's great, because when you find them, you'll find out the benefit that a boomer has. Once they decide to do something, they don't quit. They have the tenacity to stick with it. Okay, just as if you talk to somebody who's younger than 25, or they're 25 to 35, but they're not married, they haven't got haven't made the commitments, and they might not have the tenacity to stick through things more than 2 weeks. But we kind of find out people 35 years of age that are married with kids and have a household income of $70,000 and have dreams in their heart that they can't get doing what they're doing, they are willing to do something to get it. So the first question I always like to ask somebody, hey, do you got something you want you can't get doing what you're doing? And then what I like to find out is what it is. Don't just ask them a question. Find out why they want it. Find out how they're going to feel when they get it. And I remember the first time they asked me that question. Somebody came over to my house, and my wife and I, we just got home from work. I used to own some retail stores, and I came home from work, and the next door neighbor comes over, and he sits down in front of in the kitchen table, and he said, "Hey, Jeff," he says, "what would you do if there was no object? What would be some things you have today you don't have?" And my dream at that point in time, I wanted to have 10 retail stores, because I've had 10 retail stores. I'd have my dreams. I'd be able to hire managers. I'd be able to hire a regional guy to run them, so I could be free. So I told him I would have 10 stores. And so he asked me. He said, his question was, what do I want to have? Well, that's what I want to have. I want to have 10 stores, because once I have 10 stores, I can have my life. Okay, I was willing to work 100 hours a week until I got my 10 stores, and once I got my 10 stores, I'd hire the managers, I'd hire the regional guys, and then my wife and I, we could travel to the Bahamas, we could do island hopping, we'd be free. And so I remember when Jim asked me that question, I told him that, then he said, Jeff, he said, what's the chance that you can get that doing what you're doing within the next 2 to 5 years? And I probably want to inject this one thought. At that particular point in time, when he asked me that in 2 to 5 years, I said I didn't have a chance, because my game plan was about 15 years. So if I get it 2 to 5, I'd be excited. Here, this 2 to 5 year plan mentioned all the time in a home-based business industry. I found out later that's I'm trying to think of a term that would define that. That's a bunch of crap. Okay, the reason they tell you 2 to 5 years is they don't want you to quit. If you understand how to build a home-based business, if you understand what a system do, you should be able to have life-changing income developed within 90 days. So when I talk to people today, it's not in 2 to 5 years. I want to know if I could, what if we could give you some life-changing income within the next 90 days? What would an extra $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month do for you? You tell me what you want to have, and are you willing to work to get it? So let's say somebody like to get a new house. They'd like to be able to make enough money so they can raise their kids. They're sick and tired of. In fact, as I watched a video today, and I've actually watched this video before, but when I watched it today, it took my heart and just kind of ripped it apart, because it said, because of the way most of us have been raised, our first 2 to 4 years, we've been programmed, and our paradigm has been set because of the circumstances and the environment we grew up in those first 2 to 4 years. How many poor kids out there today have families that are struggling for money? Well, if they live in that environment where they struggle for money, we are set that they're going to struggle for money. Obviously, when you get older, between stimuli and response, there's a thing called choice. Okay, but the reality is we need to help more people become free, so they can have a better life, so we can do more for this world than just exist. So when you find out what that dream is, maybe you want to help your kids to get them off to the right start. You want to help your kids be the best kids they can become. Well, then the next question is, would you be willing to do more than what you're doing right now to have that happen? In other words, are you willing to spend some time and some money to have your dreams come true? And here's what I find with most people. Most people who have a true dream in their heart that they can't get doing what they're doing, they're willing to spend time and more money to get their dreams and goals. And then the third question you have to ask them, are you teachable? And again, I've got people out there that I've talked with, and I visit with them, and they got dreams in their heart, and they're willing to spend time, they're willing to spend money, but they're a legend in their own mind. They're not teachable. And you got to realize today, because of every 3 to 5 years, we have generational changes within technology. The stuff that we're doing today in 2014, okay, if you did the same marketing systems that was in 2009, they would be obsolete today. You've got to be willing to change, and to change, you've got to be willing to be teachable. So if you got a dream in your heart you can't get, and you're willing to spend some time and some money to get your dreams, and you're teachable, then you fit what we're looking for. And so the reality is, if your mindset is such, hey, I'm looking for people who got something they want that they can't get. They're willing to spend some time and money and basically do more than what they're doing now to get the dreams. And well, they're my targeted market. If somebody can't answer yes to that question, well, we're wasting our time trying to convince them or persuade them to get involved with us in the home-based business industry, because what's going to happen is they're just going to suck time from you and me. They're going to take our most important commodity, and that is what we have, and that's our time. Okay? And then that takes us to the system. So if we got this person who's got a dream in their heart, they can't get doing what they're doing, and they're willing to do more to get it, and they're teachable, and they're willing to spend some money, they're willing to spend some time to get their dreams, well, then we got to plug them into the system. Now the system, after you find the person you're looking for, the system is the most important thing. It's by far more important than the company. I mean, the company itself is so secondary. The company, the fact is, the company, once you understand what the system is, you can make any company work. Okay? The company serves a vital purpose, but it's not the most important thing. After the individual has been defined, then we got to into a system. The system's purpose is to teach people what to do, how to do, and why to do it, so you and I don't have to. So when I find out from someone, if they got a dream in a heart they can't get, that they're willing to do more than what they're doing to get it, they're willing to put in some time, willing to put in some money, and they're teachable, then I say, would you be willing to plug into a system that can teach you and your people? And if someone's not willing to plug into that system, then I basically tell them, you know what, this probably, again, this is me. This presentation this is what I do. This is how I build my business. This is how I build something so I have a life. Okay, I tell them, if you're not willing to plug into a system that can teach you and your people to do, how to do, and why to do it, then I would rather have you not get in, because what's going to happen every time you've got a problem, you'll be calling or emailing me. Every time you have a question, you're going to be calling or emailing me. I want them to plug themselves and their people into a system that will teach them what to do, how to do, and why to do it, so I can own life. You got to look at this, guys. When we first launched Extreme Savings back in 2007, okay, up to that point in time, I put my time and money into another network marketing company. It took me about 10 years to put 2,000 people into our network marketing business. And in 2007, we launched Extreme Savings, and within 6 weeks, in 2,000 people, and I have never been so busy ever in my whole life, because all of a sudden everybody was coming to me. Everybody was calling me. Everybody was emailing me. It was nonstop. I got completely wore out, because we didn't have a system that could do the teaching. We were the system. We basically, Mark and I did, and Mark, he stopped answering the phone, and I kept on answering the phone, and I just basically got emotionally drained. So knowing this, when I go off and talk with somebody who's got a dream in their heart they can't get, they're willing to do, they're willing to put in some time and money to get their dreams, make sure they're willing to plug into a system that can teach them and their people. And then the next question I asked them, how much time and money are you willing to put in to learn what to do, and also for marketing? And they're going to find out, are you serious? Because you got to realize something, and again, this from a practical standpoint. Most people fail in this industry because they listen to other people who don't know nothing. Okay? If you don't plug into a system that can teach you the principles, the attitudes, and the beliefs of the home-based business industry, you'll fall prey to anybody else's opinion. In fact, as I was just talking with some guys this afternoon, and the Cowboys won yesterday in football, they looked really awesome. And we got talking about football. And I said, these are professional football players. They take their direction from people who know football. That'd be kind of like asking somebody who wants to become a professional football player to go over to Europe and ask people to give them some direction on how to play football. And over in Europe, football is soccer. You would fail miserably in U.S. football if you were taking your direction from a professional soccer player, because they don't know how to play football. Well, if you want to build a home-based business, you can't go off and talk to somebody that owns an Anytime Fitness. You can't go off and talk to somebody that owns a Radio Shack. You can't go off and talk to somebody that owns that's a doc. You can't go off and talk to somebody who's a professional in another industry, because they don't know home-based business. So the system will teach you and your people the principles, the attitudes, and the beliefs of the home-based business industry. And as you look at this slide right here, you can see there's a tremendous difference between the two models. The job model has well-defined parameters. on your credentials, based upon your capabilities, you fit into one of those parameters, and then based upon the competition of that position determines what you get paid. And therefore, if you want to make more money, you got to go off and get better skilled. You got to go back and get more schooling. You got to increase your capabilities so you can raise up that corporate model. But if you look in the home-based model, it's a V. Everybody starts off at the bottom. Everybody starts off with nobody in their group. I don't care how sharp you are. I don't care how smart you are. When you start off in a home-based business industry, you start off with just you, but you have the ability to bring in an endless number of people. And as you'll notice, instead of it being like the corporate model, it's a V, because there's no limit to how big this thing gets. And the more people you bring in, the more money you're going to make. But guess what? Your income will be determined by your attitude. It will be determined by your principles, your beliefs, and your self-concepts. And so this system will do all that. The system will teach your people the principles, the attitudes, and the beliefs of the home-based business industry, so you don't have to. Another thing that the system will do, the system will teach your people how to market. And if you don't plug into a system to teach your people how to market, you become the source of information, motivation, and inspiration and perspiration to generate traffic. If you don't do a system to teach your people how to generate traffic that turns into leads, that turns into buyers, that turns into builders, then what happens? It falls onto your shoulders that you got to go off and contact your war market. And I don't know about you, but you know what? Back in the old days before technology, we would go to church and I would be looking for somebody new, and it was terrible because I was looking for somebody new because that was going to be my next prospect. I mean, you think about this today, because of technology, I can go to a social event. I don't have to go prospect anybody. Why? Because at a flip of a switch, we can generate an endless number of traffic, and traffic turns into leads, the leads turns into buyers, the buyers turn into builders, and the builders build the business, provided you have a system that you follow that can generate the traffic, that can turn into leads, that can turn into the buyers, that can turn into the builders. So the system, as you can see, it provides you the mechanism to build a huge business. And again, I want to reiterate that the system is much more important than the company. And the minute you put the company ahead of the system, you are basically become a salesperson selling products, and you'll be destined to live and die as a salesperson. A person who understands how important the system is a business builder. A person that goes off and promotes the company is a salesperson. No one wants to sell. 95% of the marketplace does not look at themselves as a salesperson. What you want to do is you want to learn how to build systems. You want to learn how to build businesses by plugging people into a system. The system will be the source of information, motivation, and inspiration, so you have a life. Think about this. The bigger your team gets, the more important the system becomes. If they're not calling you, you can put in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and you have a life. Then everybody wants to be you. Because who wouldn't want to have the income? Think about this. Look, go back to the slide here, guys. Look at this. Who wouldn't want to have a big V full of all those people, and you're making money off all those people, and you don't have nobody calling you? I was on a workshop last week, and the guy who was doing the workshop, in the last 3 years, he's put in 300,000 people in his team in the last 3 years. And you know what? He said, guys, I want to show you how many people called me today. Now, that particular day, he had 15, 20 phone calls. I probably had, and of course, I don't get them all called back. I mean, I get messages and stuff. I probably had 30, 40, 50 emails. He had 3 phone calls that day. All 3 were from his wife. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking how crazy and how inefficient I am, or I was, not more. Because he used a system to build his team. He wasn't the system was the system. So you find out how important the system is. The system is much more important than the company. That doesn't mean the company is not important. The company is important because the company has to have high demand, high impact products. It has to have a simple compensation plan that people can believe and people can make money with, and it has to be affordable. So my question is, okay, you got a dream in your heart, you can't get doing what you're doing. Okay, you're willing to do more than what you're doing to get it. Okay, and you're willing to plug into a system to teach you what to do, how to do, and why to do it. Okay, and you're willing to put in some money to get started. You're willing to put money for traffic. Okay, because if you don't put in the money for traffic, then it's destined for you to take all the time and money. In fact, I talked with an engineer, and he didn't have, he said, I'm really, really strapped for time. I usually go to work, I leave at 5 o'clock, I get home at 8 o'clock at night. I'm strapped for time, but I got some money. So basically, he just bought off his traffic. Okay. If you got the resources to buy your traffic, you can buy the traffic, which can lead to results. If you don't have the resources, then you got to do the effort yourself. But the fact is, once you understand what the system can do, the system will produce the results you want. Okay? So you got a dream in your heart you can't get. You're willing to do more than what you're doing. You're willing to invest into yourself to learn what to do and do it. You're willing to invest in the marketing based upon your capacity to invest. And then the next question I ask then, okay, hey, listen, are you willing to do the research on these products that we've got to prove to yourself that these products are high demand, high impact? Now, did you hear what I said? I said, are you willing to do the research yourself to prove to yourself? You know what? And this is a part that kind of, it almost makes me chuckle. There are so many people that say, well, you got to convince me these products are good. You know what? I don't have to. My targeted market are someone who's got a dream in a heart they can't get. They're willing to do more than what they're doing to get it. They're willing to put in time. They're willing to put in money. They're willing to plug into a system. They're willing to do the research to convince themselves and to prove themselves that these products are high demand, high impact. So here's my question. If you want to get in your house, you want to take more time with your family, you want to be free, are you willing to do the research to prove to yourself that our products are high demand, high impact? And if you say yes, okay, then the next is, if you prove to yourself that these products are high demand and high impact, are you willing to purchase them every month? Now, you understand, I'm asking all these questions before we show them anything. I'm basically, and here's the way I look at this. You qualify the person first. Do they fit our targeted market? Do you got a dream in your heart you can't get? You want to do something doing to get it? Are you willing to put in some time and some money to get it? Are you willing to do the research to find out these products we got are high demand, high impact? And if you can convince yourself that these are high demand, high impact products, are you willing to buy them? And before I show them anything, I've qualified them and I close them before I show them. See, here's what happens with most people. This is why most people struggle. They're people. They're showing the products and they're convincing people to buy. You know what you want to do? You want to qualify the prospect and close them and then show them. So if a person tells me, yes, I'm willing to do the research. Yes, I'd be willing to buy these products. I say, well, now let's just get through the products. Now, your first step is you're going to want to get through all of our products and convince yourself that we got great high demand, high impact products. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole time on the products because all this information you can find on the website. But this is our number one selling product. It's Aqualite. It's a little sachet that goes in the water, and it comes from the coral reef in Okinawa, Japan. Okay, and what happened is, just to kind of give you just a real brief background, the oldest man in the world came from this island. Okay, not only from this island, but this island had more people over 100 years old than any other place in the world. So when the Ministry of Health from Japan goes and checks this stuff out, they can't figure out what's going on. So they start doing all these studies, and they figured out what it was. It was coming from the water, because the island is on a coral reef, so all the rain filtered through this coral, and so all the aquifers were this coral calcium mineral enriched water. Well, all we've done is we've just taken the same little minerals, put them into a little sachet, and then you put that little sachet in the water like a tea bag, shake it up, let it set for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden it starts changing the water. It starts breaking up the water molecule clusters, so better absorption into the cell membranes. It brings more oxygens into the cell, and plus all the serendipities of mineral. This product is an unbelievable product, and you get 30 sachets. Each sachet treats a half gallon of water. So if you drink a couple liters of water today, $25 gives you a month's supply of this product. It's awesome. Product, and again, all this stuff you can check on the website. Our second product is a liquid mineral product, and here's why this is important. Today, we just don't get the organic complexes in our food. The organic complexes are nothing more than the building blocks that the plants use to create the nutrition that we need, okay? And they're not getting it because the soil is depleted because of all the farming methods. What this is this iodide is a liquid mineral supplement that gives us those organic complexes so our body can basically get the nutrients we need. Again, a 1 month supply for $25. Another, again, I call it cutting edge, core product is our travel club. Beach Travel Agency, a registered seller of travel out of the state of Iowa, and for $25 you get a 4-month membership in the club. And what this membership does, it gives you wholesale rates. When I say wholesale rates, whatever the rate that the travel agency pays for a reservation is the rate you pay. We don't mark it up a dime. And then whatever commissions we make as a travel agency on that reservation, we rebate half of that back to you. And so any reservation you make in a 4-month period of time, you'll get travel agency rates and you'll get rebates. Now, somebody said, well, how come it's only 4 months for $25? Well, the average person maybe only takes one vacation a year. They don't need to buy the club, the whole year $75 club, if they only want to use it for 4 months. Now, if you want to use it for all year, no problem. It's $75 a year. only have to buy $20 to $25 at a time. Our third grouping of products is just basic digital products. The webinar system you're watching right now is part of this package. You also get autoresponders. You also get capture page systems. A great program, great product for $25. Similar products out there retail probably for around $50. So this is a great deal. This product here, this is I call this a life-changing product. Today, I don't know what percentage of the people, 50, 60, 70% are overweight. I don't know, maybe 20, 30%, maybe more are considered to be obese. Here's a picture of me. This is my before and after picture. I lost 60 pounds in 90 days with this signals. It's a safe product. It's all energy. It's got an appetite suppressant. There's appetite suppressant in it. There's no hormones in this thing. It's a safe product. Retails for $85, but as a member of ICB, you can get it for $47.50. Great product. Also, we know as everybody's getting older, keep looking younger. This is basically, we call it a facelift in a tube. It basically tightens and tones your skin, but also tightens and tones the muscles, so that you basically get a long-lasting effect. This product retails for $50, but you can get it for only $35. And again, the more you look at our products, just and in fact, we've got one product line we're hoping to be able to announce it tonight, but we didn't have it ready in time. But it's some other great cutting-edge products. We'll just keep adding them. Now, what we've done, okay, we've actually put together some starter packs, and we kind of recommend you really, since you need to convince yourselves that these products, high demand, high impact, probably the best thing to do is go off and purchase a starter pack. This is our number one selling starter pack. You'll get, basically 60 sachets of the Aqualite. You get 2 bottles of the Ionite. You'll get the facelift mask. You get the fat burning signals. Normally $235, but the starter pack you get it for only $105, so you save $60 on this product. And again, that's kind of, of course, you can just start it for $25, but this is kind of what we recommend to give you a chance to really get a good feel for the product. This is our number one selling monthly purchase. It is the maintenance pack, and what this is set up so you get yourself 60 sachets of the water. And again, let's say you weigh 200 pounds for simple math. You're supposed to drink half that. You take the 200 pounds, divide that by 2 is 100. Turn that into ounces. You're supposed to drink 100 ounces of water a day. Each little sachet will treat like 4 ounces of water. So basically, if you're drinking, 4 liters of water, that goes through 2 sachets and 1 bottle of Ionite. So this is basically set up so a person can get optimum health for $75 a month. Okay, and all you really got to look at now, you only need $25 a month. But again, when I sit down and talk with people, say, hey, listen, try these products. Once you start trying them, why wouldn't you want to have the Ionite? Why wouldn't you want to have the Aqualite? And if you need to lose some weight, why wouldn't you want to do the FBS? And and if you want to keep your skin looking as young as you possibly can, why wouldn't you want to buy the MFM? So go off and try these products and purchase a starter pack, but you only need $25 a month to get activated. And then of course that leaves us step of the companies. You got to have a comp plan that awards people appropriately. Okay. Well, our comp plan is about as simple as you can make it. Okay. It costs you, again, you only have to pay $25 a month. We recommend you buy a starter pack if you can afford it. And every time you get, you got to have at least one person personally sponsored in one of these teams. We give you 2 teams when you join, and you can bring in as many people as you want. You place them in one of the 2 teams. You got to have at least one in each team to be commission qualified. As long as you got one active in each team, every time you got $75 worth of business volume in the left team and $75 worth of business volume that's generated in the right team, you'll make $12.50 every time that happens. Unlimited levels of depth, up to a max of $12,000 a week based on your rank. And again, as you keep going through the rank, you also start getting some matching bonuses. Now, the matching bonuses are paid not just on your first level people. It's paid on everybody you personally sponsor, plus everybody they personally sponsor, plus everybody they personally sponsor through levels down to the first, we call it leadership level of each one of your teams. And so once you get to producer rank, you start getting that 10% matching bonus. This turns into some big money, and you can earn up to 5 leadership levels. So there's some really, really, great income that can be made with the matching bonus program. And of course, you can earn fast start money to starter packs. You can make anywhere from, $15 on a $60 starter pack up to $175 on the presidential pack. And again, if people go off and order that, on that health pack we talked about for $175, that earns you $75 fast start. And so just sum it up really quick, okay? You You are the individual who's got a dream in your heart that you can't get doing what you're doing. You got a willingness to do, and you're teachable. And of course, we use the system for the marketing and the personal development. And then we use the comp plan, we use the company for the comp plan and the products. But I got a question for you. Would you be willing, and some people say, well, I need to know a little bit about this. So we put together kind of like a little test drive. I mean, would you be willing to take this for a test drive for only $6? In other words, you don't have to buy a starter pack. You can just come in for $6. See, for $6, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a personal consultation with one of our builders who will strategize with you and show you how to use our system to build a self-generating team. Again, once you understand the system is on autopilot. Once the system starts getting involved into your organization, the system does the teaching, the system does the informing, the system does the motivating, the system does it all. So it becomes a self-generating team. So our we'll sit down with you and give you a consultation, walk you through step by step how this system all works. We'll also lock in your position and give you 30 days to activate your position. So for $6, you don't have to buy the starter pack. You can just basically lock it in for $6. And then what we're going to do, we're also going to give you a 1-year membership, or we're going to give you a $75 club for free. So for $6, you get a personal consultation from a builder who's going to strategize with you and show you how to use our system to build a self-generating team. You're going to lock in your position and give you 30 days to activate it. Plus, we're going to give you a $75 travel club for free. So here's what you want to do. Okay? You see that little, again, go ahead. Slider button at the bottom. If it's not open, open that up, and then click on that ICB logo is at the bottom. And then what you're going to want to do is going to take you to a page, hit the join button, go to that form and fill it out and spend $6. And then what's going to happen, one of our builders is going to get with you on the phone, is going to strategize with you, walk you through everything. I was on the phone with a guy this afternoon, and as I was talking with him, I said, "Hey, listen, I see you came in for $6, and I just want to give you a buzz, let you know I'm your builder. I'm here to help you. Can you tell me, why did you pull the trigger and spend $6?" And he said, "Well, dude, I did it just to get the travel club." I said, "So there was really no motivation to make some extra money?" He said, "Well, money would be kind of fine, but mostly, my wife and I travel, and it looked like it might be a good deal for the travel club." I said, "Well, dude, no problem. If you ever change your mind, you ever want to get rich, call me." Now, you understand, I didn't try to convince that person to go ahead and partner up with me and let me help them, build a business, because his purpose to participate was just to get the travel club for $6. On the other hand, if he would have said, "No," I said, "Man, I'd like to make some money. This is kind of cool," then I would have went through the strategy with him. So, guys, here's what you want to do. Again, this presentation is geared for me to expose this, to get people in. Pull the trigger, spend $6. And this, for $6, $75 travel club. For $6, you get a consultation with a builder. For $6, you lock in a position, give you 30 days to activate. This is a great deal. Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording right now.